Okay, we are going to be looking at the game Furnace today. This is a game from 2020, designed by Ivan Lashin and produced by Hobby World. All right, first let's take a look at the setup for this game. This is really quite simple to set up and to play. So the first thing we need is this is the round marker, and it uses this little combination here to show you your rounds as you go through the game. And then there's going to be an auction market here. So set it up kind of like this. Next thing we need to do is look at our resources. So in this game, we've got 4 basic resources: coal, ore, oil, and then these are upgrade tokens. And just place those in easy reach. Now, the game comes with the tokens, obviously, but not these containers. These are ones that I have to make this easier. All right, and then we have the money. 1s, 2s, 3s, 5s, 10s, 25s. And so the goal of the game is to get the money. Most money at the end wins. The game is basically about converting your resources into money. All right, then we're going to randomly select somebody to be first. And then we take this stack of 2-sided company cards and give them a quick shuffle, and then they go on top of there, and we are just about ready to go. Okay, so then each player will receive, we'll pick a color. They receive the marker and these tokens for that color, and then they're also going to receive a capitalist card and a starting company card. We'll come back and talk about all of this a little bit, but we're going to set this up for 3 players. There are slightly different rules if you have 2 players, and so we'll go ahead and set this up for 3. 3 and 4 is kind of the standard. 2 is slightly different, and so you can see that later. Okay, so everybody has their components, and we're pretty much ready to go. At this point, we move into the rounds of the game, and each round is going to have 2 phases. The first being the auction phase, and the second being the production phase. So we're going to talk about how those go. But this is the part where we would start, and the way we do this is each time, whoever is the active player is going to cut the cards and replace this, and then that's how you get a random cards at the top that nobody's had a chance to see or think about, and you put them out as the auction. To make the explanation of the game go a little bit smoother, I've selected certain cards. So for 3 players, we would be placing out 6 cards, or 7 cards, sorry. 6 cards for 2 players, 7 cards for 3 players, and 8 cards for 4 players. And there are our 7 cards in the auction. And so we are going to be using these tokens to bid on these cards. Then once we have the cards, there's a production phase where we acquire the resources and can work with those resources. So let's start by discussing the starting card. So everybody has a starting card, and what happens is you receive these resources one time at the beginning, and then each starting card comes in the format of 3 items, one of which is receiving a resource token, or sorry, an upgrade token, one of which is converting a resource into money some number of times, and then they all have exactly the same thing. You can use an upgrade token plus the coal, and any number of times you can do this to upgrade a card. And you can see this down here is grayed out. When we flip it, it isn't. This is the upgraded side. This is the basic side. And so we start with them at the basic side and they can be upgraded. So we'll go ahead and take those two resources right now. And everybody else would do that, but we're just going to show you one player completely and the other ones partially. And then we are now prepared to go with this. The way that these company cards work is they have what's called a consolation resource, and then there's two different items that can come into play during the production phase. And they come in all different kinds of forms. Here we have one upgrade being able to be converted one time to 5 coins. And once the card is upgraded, then you would also be able to extract 3 coal on your turn. And they're all like this, but slightly different. Now, the way this works is we are ultimately going to go in order. This becomes important because if you do not win this company in the auction, but you bid on it, you will receive these compensation resources. Those compensation resources can be used later on. So if you receive compensation here and had 2 coal, you could convert those into oil. If you do not have the coal, you can't do anything about that compensation. It's just you're not able to take advantage of it because you must always have these resources to be able to convert to that resource.